Hello everyone, this is Chief from the Fishbowl Radio here, and I want to talk to you today about how to stop repeating issues, like stuff that keeps on coming back, and for like the past 1,000 years we haven't been able to solve anything, like why do we have to have war and all this other stuff. But there's a couple of reasons why let's first how to stop. Before you can stop something, you gotta know the causes of something. You know what, I've always had this hunch, the reason why we go to war is because or naturally people can be greedy, and pride and all this other stuff comes together and becomes in a mix, and it makes people do decisions that they wouldn't normally make. And that's why we have arguments with other people, and everybody's different, and everybody's got different mindsets and different things, like like how people are portrayed. They think that's the right way to be portrayed, and other people think that this way is the right way and this other way is the right way. Kind of like how religions are, and like this should be the right way and stuff like that. And oh yeah, by the way, in case you haven't known today, the Pope got elected. Pope Francis the first American, first Pope born in the New World. I mean, not born in the New World. First Pope from the New World. Excuse me on that. But let's get back on the issues here. That's just a little news flash for y'all. But anyway, talking about how to stop repeating issues. First, it's all the causes. You have this stuff that keeps coming up, like war and stuff like that. So how you stop that? What's the main purpose of war? To try to get something that you would have to get through force and different things here, because like some people just got aggression and stuff like that. I mean, it's just aggression. Kind of like how North Korea is handling right now. They're taking very aggressive steps. They're taking bold steps. I think we may possibly have a war with them in the next 5 years. Yeah, that's just my opinion. But anyway, how do you stop something like this? You have to eliminate those certain kind of people getting in power, where people get power hungry all the time, and it's like you get someone some good, they want more of it. It's like a necessary, like you want, like, oh, your favorite candy, you never tried it before, but you try this candy one time and you're gonna want more of it. It's kind of like you take let's say Skittles for example. Skittles is my favorite candy. If I take one bite of Skittle, if someone tell me, hey, I only got one Skittle, I have the desire for more. And that's greed. That's greed in a sense. You want more of what you really don't need, and I think that's the reason why we have all these issues in the first place. Greed is a horrible thing to have, because I wish we kind of have more like how some things are run in the government programs and stuff. People get greedy with stuff. You give somebody, let's say this $500. For some odd reason, they're gonna want more and more and more. You can't satisfy that need. So I think if you would never introduce something, you would never know about it. Like there's always this need to get the newest phones and stuff like that on the market. Why would you even want that? It does two or three things differently. Why would you want the most newest phones? You're addicted to the same technology that got you at that level. The iPhone 4S didn't do this, and this, but the iPhone 5 does this and this. It's almost the exact same phone in a sense, because they're only adding 3 or 4 new features, except that it's got a bigger screen and stuff like that. I mean, that's different, but I mean, really and truly, it's still a smartphone. The only thing a phone is supposed to do is make phone calls. It never was supposed to be intended into making all this stuff. Hey, I have an Android. I have a Motorola Atrix 2. And it's Android. Yeah, I like my phone. It's very good. It gets me what I need to do. It does the most common thing that every phone should be able to do. It calls people. I text people, because like if I'm in a conversation, I think text is good in a way, because if you need a quiet conversation with somebody, instead of saying, hey, Bob, I need you to do this, and this for me, you can text people and have that done. So I mean, we're like slaves to this stuff sometimes. I think some people completely are slaves to it. Today I go to college and I forgot my phone back at my place, and I was like, dang, this is gonna suck. I don't feel like going back and get it. So you know what? I went the whole day of school without my phone. Yeah, I tell you, there's some people I know that I don't even think could be able to do that. I wasn't freaking out of that. Yeah, I was just kind of bored all day, waiting on some of my friends to get out of class and talk to them and stuff like that. I mean, thank God we have some social contact with each other. I mean, I feel like I'm talking to a computer right now with nobody listening to me, but I know whoever plays this will hear my voice and hear what I gotta say. So, I mean, how we stop repeating issues and stuff like that. I mean, we may be slaves to this stuff though, but I think it's like, there's so much stuff on the internet today. There's lust out there a lot, and I think lust has kind of grown a little bit more than it needs to be grown. I mean, you type in one little thing on the internet and you might pull up something you're not supposed to see. If you're like an 8 or 9-year-old seeing some videos that are very not right for an 8 or 9-year-old to see. Y'all could probably figure this one out. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But anyway, I mean, we live in a world that's completely different than the 1940s and 1930s and stuff like that. But they still had their problems back then. I mean, there's some stuff we got better. We got better at race issues, and we got better at accepting people that are different than us. But we're still not perfect with it. Everything we do won't be perfect. I mean, 20 years from now, they'll get even better at it. There'll be something different. Because, but like we may be doing something, we are probably doing something right now that's not right. In 30 years from now, it'll be corrected. But we're always going to constantly try to improve until something disastrous happens to us. I mean, there's going to be a day where we're going to have to figure out what we're going to have to do about these issues and stuff like that. How we're going to protect the border better and stuff like this. I know it's all common sense stuff. We have to think about, oh yeah, it's so easy to build a fence. I mean, really. But there's more complex ways to deal about stuff. But how do you stop repeating issues that keeps coming up every 10, 15 years? Why do we get sucked into these wars and stuff? It's because I think speaking for the United States, I think we put our head where it doesn't belong sometimes. And like, hey, they've been fighting wars in the Middle East for the past how many centuries or thousands of years? There's always going to be a war somewhere. We don't need to get involved in every single conflict. I say we pick and choose our fights that directly affect us, not affect every other country. But like, I think I don't know what really caused the issue in the Middle East. I heard my college professor in history say that he thought that when they made Israel, but college professors can be very liberal too. I'm an independent. I'm both ways with this stuff. I look at everything. I just get a personal opinion about it. But I mean, why do they have to hate Israel? They think the Jews are terrible people. You see, that's a ethocentrism when they believe a group is more superior than another group of people. I mean, that's horrible too. I mean, that's kind of like how the African Americans were treated right after they got rid of slavery, and slavery too. They're being treated terribly. So I mean, that's just stuff we have to talk about. I feel the need to talk about people with this stuff because a lot of people don't realize something. History may be one of the most important subjects we ever will come about to find. I think the top 4 subjects are English, math, science, and history. That's probably your top 4 right there. Because I don't see how important, like, I'm just talking general topics, not anatomy and stuff like that. That's all science stuff. And health. I mean, like, health is important. I think every subject's they all got importance, but public speaking and stuff like that is not nearly as important as, like, learning algebra and stuff or something like that. But, what I'm trying to make my point is this. History, the most important thing about history, we able to look back and see what we did wrong and try not to make the same mistakes again. But have you noticed certain patterns in history that continue to happen? We had World War One. This is all related to this discussion here because I'm trying to relate it. Hold on. World War One was started whenever they signed a document that said we're not gonna have war ever again. Well, how many wars have we had since then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, there's been wars all over the place since the signing of that. That was way back in 1912. So this is about like 100 years ago. 19. No, actually, that's after the war. So that was like 1918. So, I mean, you look at this stuff. I think we need to pay a little bit more attention to history because we keep running the same mistakes over and over again. I mean, we have problems with the economy now. You look how every economy is different. Our economy is back in 1930s, it's completely different than. Excuse me. I'm tired. School will do that to you, but history, you repeat. It repeats itself over and over and over and over again. Like after Obama got elected, President Obama, there was a lot of states that wanted to succeed, that people would put petitions and stuff. And I mean that why would you want to succeed from the union? That's completely pointless because you would be more in depth than you would. It's stupid and ridiculous what people would think here. You know what? If you didn't vote for Obama like I did, the main reason why I didn't vote for Obama because I didn't like his plan for economic recovery and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with the guy. I think he's a really nice person. Never killed anybody, so I mean he's a good guy. He might be doing some stuff right now that we don't know about. It might be wrong, but I mean, you never know. I mean, I think every politician does something really stupid. But I didn't see where he improved from. Like, president's supposed to get better as they get in there. But I don't see where he made any improvement. That's why I didn't vote for him. But I voted for Romney. But I'm not going to say Romney was the best candidate either. I thought he was the best out of the two. Which I was trying to do more for the country than anything else. I think how to stop these issues coming up, like, we need to look back, like, the Congress itself, they all need to watch Alexander Hamilton, how he handled a situation, which was going to decide the President of the United States. Alexander Hamilton hated Thomas Jefferson, really bad, he hated him, but you know what, he said this, I know that I don't like Thomas Jefferson, but I'm like it was all tied up. He was tied with Aaron Burr for electoral votes to become the president of the United States. He was like third and stuff like that. And he was like, and the representative, the Senate all met and they all voted and stuff and they couldn't break the tie. Alexander Hamilton walked in there and said, I know I don't like Thomas Jefferson, but he's the right guy for the country. He will do what's best for the country. That's what we need. Compromising. I believe my history professor told us that. And I read my book, and he's right about that. That is the one thing we're missing. It's like, let's work with each other instead of trying to fight this stuff all the way down to the tooth and nail. You know what? Both sides are guilty of this. Republicans and Democrats. They are both at fault for this stuff. And this is completely turned into a political thing, but how do you stop these issues? Talk to each other. Work things out, have a conversation. Don't like talking on like a more where you won't get upset about some stuff here. If you have these people have a closed mind, if you open your mind to ideas, you will become a more smarter and intelligent individual in your life. And I feel like a philosophical person right now. But I mean, really, you look at all this stuff and hey, we can do this. I believe we can get out of this if we just open our mind a little bit. And opening your mind will stop these repeating issues. That's all it is. It takes an open mind. Hey, I might do it this way, but you might be doing it something better than me. Like, you look at different things, you look at different techniques and stuff, you learn from different people, what they say and what they think. I don't agree with my history professor because I think he's too liberal all the time. I disagree with some stuff he says, and I agree with some stuff he says, because you know what, I want to believe I have an open mind, but you know what, I know I'm not the smartest person out there right now. Like, hey, I'll appreciate your feedback. If y'all have any issues to discuss on the show, I'll give my viewpoint on them, and y'all can message me, and I will try to write back to y'all. Because I think we all need to figure out all these issues. We all need to have an open mind somewhere along the way, because I think that's what makes people smarter. You learn more things with your trial and error. Like I tried to. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something funny. When you first learn how to, I'm trying to think of something. What was something I did stupid? I'm trying to think of something. Hold on, give me a moment. Oh yeah, actually I know something one of my friends did. Hold on, I saw something really funny. Okay, this past New Year's Eve, we were at one of my friends' camps and we were hanging out, shooting fireworks and having a fun time with everybody. And well, we all lit. Well, artillery shots were all in a circle, okay, and like they were in the tubes and everything. We were gonna shoot them up in there, and we had the boxes. We had some boxes, those big old ones that you did, you know, the big old ones or whatever, big old cannon ones. Well, one of my friends had one of those other ones, okay, and whenever we lit it, the wind knocked it over, and don't you dare try to pick that thing up. Well, one of my friends went to try to grab it. That thing shot, almost hit me, grazed his hair, started burning embers on his hair, and he dropped the thing. That thing started spinning around and shooting every single area. And I had my truck parked about a good ways away from it, okay? It was shooting. I almost got hit. Like, my friends are running around screaming and stuff like that. I got the video to prove it on this computer. I can upload it for y'all so y'all can have a little bit of fun watching the screen. You can't really see anything because we're all in the background. It was shot from a good distance away because one of my friends was videotaping the whole thing, and when that thing started shooting everywhere, and one of them hit my truck dead straight in the windshield, shot directly at it and hit it. And it almost hit it. Well, it hit the camp. I hit a camper over there too, and thank God it didn't hit the bottom of that camper because they had a full gas tank there, and you could imagine how horrible that would have been. Everybody's vehicle would have been boom, done. So my friend learned something. If something falls, do not try to attempt to pick it up again, because the way he did it, because if he would have left it where it was, it landed in the grass. It would have just shot in one spot. We probably would have wanted to take out the fire. I mean, he picked it up and put it back on the cement, and when the wind's blowing, it don't blow as good on grass. When it's on cement, it'll blow it everywhere. That's the problem. That's the surface would cause the whole deal. So now that I'm done telling you all one of my personal stories of my life, let's see. Okay, how to stop issues? Open minds. That's the one thing we need to do. And reading back on our history. If we read back on our history and have an open mind, we can conquer any problem that comes our mind. Us too. There's one thing that everybody needs to learn how to do. Adapt. You tweak stuff. You don't change stuff a lot. You don't become like a Democrat and try to change every single thing by a huge like a big change. And you're not like a Republican, which keeps stuff conservatively. Barely touches anything at all. You tweak stuff a little tiny bit. You narrow it down to like the smallest centimeter of anything you can get it to. You try to get absolute perfection, and the line's gonna move a little bit, and you're gonna tweak it a little bit more. Tweak it, and tweak it some more. That's how you get stuff perfectly running. But you know, it's so easier to talk about this stuff. I just think if you have an open mind, look back at our history, and just, you know, go through life experiences, and you'll be able to figure out how to stop this stuff from happening. I believe everybody's got the right to change their ways and stuff like that. I think everybody's got a great opportunity to do that. So thank you for tuning into the Fishbowl Radio, and my philosophical lesson is done with, and hope you have a nice day. This is the Chief, and I'm signing off from the Fishbowl Radio. Have a great night, everybody.